Hello and welcome to the first of many Every Game on the Board podcast. Of course, I am Andrew McInnis from wagertalk.com. This is the CFL edition of Every Game on the Board. Guys, I'll be doing this for NHL once hockey comes back. For now, we are going through briefly every single CFL game on the board, giving out at least one pick for each game, discussing things, and just chatting, just talking it up a little bit about the CFL. Before I jump into it, though, quick reminder for all of you guys out there, the deal going on right now over at wagertalk.com, $99 for the rest of July, less than $8 a day. The best deal running right now at the website, $99 for the rest of the month of July. It's a jam-packed time right now. Baseball, CFL, UFC, all kinds of stuff going on. You can get all of my action over at wt.buzz/AM. Let's jump into the first game on the board in the CFL. We'll pull up some of the odds here. We have the Edmonton Elks taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. When you look at this team here with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, they're off a game, guys, where they blew their lead big time against the Ottawa Redblacks. I mean, they controlled the game. They dominated in the first half. And then we saw an unbelievable collapse, really, from them late in the game. The Edmonton Elks, look, here's the deal. They give up points to everybody. They're a team that, their defense has been awful. No doubt about it. They cannot win a game at home. They can't win a game anywhere. But they don't just have problems in one area. They've got problems everywhere. Taking a look at kind of some of the scores for them, just to kind of paint it out here. They gave up 43 against the Argos, 26 against the Redblacks, 37 points to the Ticats. I mean, this is a team that's given up points to everybody that they play against. Now you're going to get a team like Winnipeg off that very disappointing loss last week, not an ATS loss, a straight up loss, and you're going to get them playing the worst team in the league. Guys, the play for me is very simple in this one. We are taking the Winnipeg Blue Bombers minus the 9.5. Anything less than 10, I will take Winnipeg minus the 9.5 in the first half. They get Kenny Lawler back too, which is huge for that team. He was dealing with some immigration issues, with some stuff going on back home. But this Winnipeg team is an ATS machine. They're also a bounce back team. I'm sure everybody knows in certain sports, certain leagues, there's always that team that loves to bounce back immediately. Well, we have a Winnipeg team 4-0 their last 4 times off an ATS loss, and 4-0 their last 4 games off a straight up loss. This is a team that I want my money on. I will take Winnipeg. We'll stay away from that big number in the full game. We'll take Winnipeg in the first half minus the 9.5. After, Edmonton allowing points to everybody. Their schedule is so rough right now. They have Winnipeg this week, next week BC, and they're playing Winnipeg again the following week after that. Things will not get better for them. And let's face it, guys, unfortunately for the Edmonton Elks, they are getting a very, very pissed off Winnipeg team after they not only lost against the spread to Ottawa last week, they lost straight up in overtime to an Ottawa Redblacks team. So taking a look now at the Argos and Hamilton Ticats, we're seeing -7 in favor of the Argos. Total not too high. We're seeing 49.5. Actually, the highest one of the week. When I look at this game, it's plain and simple. This is a Hamilton Ticats team that gives up points against everybody. They're right there with the Elks as far as their horrible defensive play. They gave up points to everybody, and they're a team that just has not gotten better in that aspect. You take a look at them against the Alouettes, give up 38 points. Last week against the Edmonton Elks, I just talked about how bad they are. They gave up 29 points, 32 against the Argos, and in week 1, they allow 42 points. Now, not just their first string quarterback, not their second string quarterback. The Hamilton Ticats are now down to their third string quarterback, guys. That's an issue. It's a problem. Their offensive line has not gotten much better too, which is a real big problem because, well, let's face it, Powell will not be protected Sure, he looked okay last week, but I do not expect him to be able to, escape the pocket with that intense pressure Toronto puts on the opposition and their quarterbacks. At -7, if you can jump in on that one, I like taking the points and laying it with the favorite here, the Argos. The way they have two great running backs, they have Chad Kelly, who's been the CFL MVP so far, starting quarterback for Toronto. And the defense has been okay as well, making some big plays when they need it. So I think it will be very tough for Hamilton. I'll take a look at Toronto, lay the points with them, lay the touchdown. Let's be honest here, guys. It's not a starting quarterback injured, not just a second string, but now it's a third stringer here for a Hamilton team. And like I just mentioned, they're coming off a game where they gave up 29 points against the Edmonton Elks. Nothing to really be proud about. A team that you should not be giving up points against. So I'll lay it here with Toronto. I respect their pressure they give to other teams' quarterbacks, and they're a team that's very dangerous and will make you pay. Keeping things going, we got a nice little pace going here. Saskatchewan and BC. Guys, here's the deal. Saskatchewan, they're also dealing with a quarterback problem. Their number one guy, Trevor Harris, just went down with an injury, a very terrible knee injury. So we're seeing the number now currently -10 in favor of the BC Lions. Take a look at that total. We're seeing 45.5 in that one. The money line -435. Here's the deal. I've been saying this for a long time. When you look at bye weeks in the CFL, especially like mid to early season, I think it really is crucial for certain teams, especially a team like BC. They've been playing so well so far this year. Every team needs time to get a breather, take a look at some film, get work with the trainers and reset for the next couple games you have. And this is an opportunity for BC at home following their bye to take advantage of a Saskatchewan team that, again, 3 games in a row, I'm talking about this, another team that does not have a great defense. Saskatchewan used to be known as a great defensive team. This year, they're giving up points in bunches. They've given up a ton of points. They played Edmonton and then Calgary twice. And in those 2 games against Calgary, they averaged, nearly 30 points against, which is not impressive. And if they're doing that against Calgary, I'm sure BC will put up points against them as well. I do think Saskatchewan can contribute. So as far as my play in this one, we will go up and over the 45.5 here. Looking forward to seeing what Mason Fine is able to do for Saskatchewan at the quarterback position with Trevor Harris being out. But with a healthier team here with BC, with them coming off that bye week, they put up a ton of points the week before their bye against the Montreal Alouettes. They are a well-oiled machine. I think between these two clubs and a well-rested team and BC playing at home, we can get up and over the 45.5 points. Last game we'll discuss here, we've got Ottawa, we've got Calgary. Numbers been up and down between -4.5 to -5. Kind of some give and take here, depending on where you're looking around and trying to find these numbers here. When you take a look at this point spread, I think that people are going to take a look at what Ottawa did last week and be impressed, with, that comeback victory they had. They take down the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, a team that has been so dominant, so solid for so many years in a row. Everybody was shocked. I mean, you take a look at the box score. Let's pull it up here. We saw 11-0 to start the game in the first quarter. Then the second quarter, Winnipeg wins that one 7-3. But Ottawa comes out in the fourth quarter with 19 unanswered points, sends it to overtime, and they win it by a score of 31-28 final score. But here's the deal. I know a lot of people that like Ottawa this week to cover. I do. I think people are jumping over that. And I don't like to use this expression, but I feel like they're going to be a popular public dog here. I think it's an overreaction. I do not think that Ottawa is going to be able to hang with Calgary. I know Calgary's defense hasn't been as good as people thought they would be, but their offense is really coming along. And if they can get that run game going, then it will be very hard for the defense to get them off the field. I don't think that Ottawa will be able to trade points with them. And to be honest, I think last week what we saw is a good example of just the fact that Winnipeg's defense is not the same as what they once were. at one point. So when I look at this one, I'm going to lay the points with Calgary minus the 4.5 with the Calgary Stampeders at home off a huge victory over the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I think to me, it's a spot here where Ottawa's fresh off that big win. I know you hear lots of handicappers say coming in feeling, fat and happy, fat and sassy, and overexcited. Now they have to go on the road to the western side of Canada here to take on Calgary. I'll lay the points with the favorite. Guys, we're going to do this all the time. We're going to do so many of these where I just run down, give out at least one pick. And of course, you can get all of my best picks over at wagertalk.com, wt.buzz/AM. Join me on all of my CFL action. But when I look at this Every Game on the Board podcast, it is a really good chance to just go over games, give a couple thoughts, talk about some players. And this one was only around 10 minutes. I just wanted to come on, give out a bunch of picks here. I also want to mention the 2 and Out show we have, myself, Carmine, and Rob Braley. That's more in-depth, more analysis, kind of going into things. Coming on here, I want to just briefly touch on things and then give out some picks. Make sure you guys have some picks for this weekend, can join me in the CFL, and you guys can get my best picks. And I will have a 5% play this weekend in the CFL. So guys, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed getting these picks, I appreciate it. Hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment who you're betting for this weekend. Thanks so much.